Hello and a warm welcome. You're watching the news track. I'm Rahul Kamal. The semi-finals in India are almost over. Attention in a short while from now will squarely be focused on the big final, the general elections of 2024. Is brand Modi still as potent and as undiminished as it was in the build-up to the 2019 Lok Sabha elections, or has the sheen started to wear off just slightly? Has anti-incumbency begun to catch on, or is the brand still as potent as it was and has been over the last 9.5 years? To talk about this, we are joined on this special broadcast by some very sharp authors, thinkers. I want to start by introducing, first and foremost, Shashi Shekhar Vempati, author of Collective Spirit, Concrete Action, Man Ki Baat, and its influence on India, former chief executive at Prasar Bharati. Welcome, Mr. Vempati. Flanking him is Rashid Khidwai, author of Bharat Ke Pradhan Mantri, Leaders, Politicians and Citizen. Welcome. Vijay Trivedi joins us, author of Haar Nahi Mangunga. It's a book on Atal Bihari Vajpayee ji. And to my right, I want to welcome Anshula Vijit, national spokesperson of the Congress party. We have Shehzad Poonawalla from the Bharatiya Janata Party, and the man in the middle, Nilanjan Mukhopadhyay, author of Narendra Modi, The Man and the Times. He's also written a book on the demolition and the verdict, Ayodhya, and the project to reconfigure India. So welcome to all our guests, and thank you for taking our time to join us in person. We're so much in the times of Zoom that it's very difficult to put together a gathering like this. So I'm deeply thankful. I want to start by asking Mr. Vempati, if brand Modi, in your view, building up to the 2024 Lok Sabha elections, is as undiminished as it was in the last election campaign, or do you think only inevitably, 10 years into his prime ministership, some level of anti-incumbency has caught on, and that the next election won't be as easy as the last election?
Yeah. So let me split these two, right? I think brand Modi continues to be as strong as ever before, perhaps even stronger, definitely undiminished. Mr. Modi has had an incredible year, if you look at it, coming out of COVID, setting the economy on a growth path with the G20 summit, Chandrayaan. So a series of successes that have built his global persona, and you can see that with these approval tracking numbers that track global readers in different countries, and you see that his numbers have been steady and hardly dipping. Now, to your second question of anti-incumbency, I think Indian politics is a complex politics because it's a very diverse country. You have different dynamics in states, in different regions. So I would decouple these two because there could be different dynamics playing in different parts of the country. But as a nation as a whole, clearly Mr. Modi's appeal, his stature is not just undiminished. I think it is on the upward rise.
Nilanjan Mukhopadhyay, do you agree? You've profiled the Prime Minister, written biographies on the man. Is the brand as undiminished, or do you think that's an unfair question because 10 years into the same job, there is bound to be a certain level of anti-incumbency? The level of anti-incumbency can be debated, but that there is anti-incumbency cannot be questioned. It's only inevitable.
You have to understand that somebody like Mr. Modi, basically from the time that he became Chief Minister, especially after the 2002 riots in Gujarat, from that time he has been the single most polarizing figure in the country. This became particularly heightened when we reached before the 2014 election. So I would not talk in terms of brand Modi being at the same level or not, but essentially Mr. Modi remains as polarizing a figure as he always was.
No, but answer my question. We'll come to polarization later. Is the brand as undiminished, or is the sheen coming off on the edges?
At the moment, Mr. Modi appears to be a bit on the defensive compared to what it appeared.
Why do you feel he's on the defensive?
I think a series of events which have happened from March onwards, beginning with several opposition parties coming together for the first ever joint petition which was filed in the Supreme Court. So there has been a certain
amount... the India
amount...
Alliance hasn't even met for the last several weeks.
Well, the India Alliance need not meet at the moment because they are fighting, elections which are essentially bipolar states. So there is really no space for a combined India Alliance in a state like Rajasthan, Madhya Pradesh or Chhattisgarh. That is an alliance which is essentially for the Lok Sabha. They will talk about it depending on what is the verdict. If it is a verdict which gives Congress a huge head start while they are negotiating with the India alliance, that's going to be scenario one. If the Congress does not perform very well, then it is going to be the smaller parties which would possibly dictate terms to the Congress party.
So you're feeling, Shehzad Poonawalla, that the biographer of Modi thinks that this is a brand that's now more on the defensive than it was in the last campaign. That's the difference Nilanjan Mukhopadhyay is reading.
On the contrary, Nilanjan's thesis actually endorses the fact that brand Modi has only gotten stronger, and so strong that those who couldn't see eye to eye from Jammu Kashmir to Kerala are now embracing in this unholy alliance. Or dal to mil rahe parantu dil nahi mil rahe. But they all have to come together to take on this brand which has only grown from strength to strength. Let me make another point. The point is that, look, what has happened? Today we are on 26/11, 15 years after the terrible terror strikes that struck the financial capital of this country. At that time we had a leadership that would look above its shoulders, wait for an endorsement. There were bomb blasts every 2 or 3 weeks. Mumbai, Delhi, Bengaluru, Hyderabad, Coimbatore, Chennai, Jaipur, Pune, my city, which was never affected by bomb blasts. And today you have a leadership that doesn't give Pakistan MFN, most favored nation status. But if they do Uri or Pulwama, there is a Balakot airstrike or a surgical airstrike. It is MTJ, muh tod jawab status, ghar mein ghus ke marenge. That is the delivery of Prime Minister Modi when it comes to national security. On the other hand, what is brand Modi? Brand Modi basically comes with A, B, C, D, E. A for Arthvyavastha. The Arthvyavastha has gone from 10th to 5th, going to 3rd. Even the IMF has said we are the fastest growing, largest economy. Then B, Bhrashtachar Mukt. Even the worst opponents can't make a corruption allegation stick to Modi, whether it's Rafale or whether it's anything else. So it's Bhrashtachar Mukt Shasan. Then C for credibility. The credibility comes whether it's on Article 370, we will get done away with it. We have got done away with it. Ram Mandir is today being built, and Ram Mandir will be ready on 22nd of January. Whatever we promised, even during the days of Jansang, is being delivered. D for delivery. Delivering 13 crore people out of poverty, doubling per capita income, doubling infrastructure, making 70 airports in the last 8 years, which was done in 70 years before. Taking the infrastructure ahead, delivering on the economy,
so
delivering on poverty.
Almost went to sleep.
If we compare...
No, I understand you'll be put to snooze mode because you don't have a leader that can match to the credibility of Prime Minister Modi. So
Anshul, if we compare with 10 years of Prime Minister Manmohan Singh, at the end of it, you know, anti-incumbency could be seen everywhere on all the rallies, the Maidans, Ramlila Maidan, the anti-corruption movement. There was visible, palpable anti-incumbency. It was not a question of whether the government will be voted out. It will be how many seats will they fall to, how many will the BJP win. Do you concede in comparison, the Prime Minister and the BJP have been able to keep anti-incumbency far lower than on your watch in the UPA?
Rahul, what are the attributes of brand Modi? And how do you judge popularity and incumbency? Well, in a democracy, there is only one quantifiable way of measuring that. That is the number of votes which were polled. In 2019, the BJP got above 37% of the votes. That means the opposition got more than 63%, about 63% of the votes. That is the only way you can judge the fact that the people at the height, possibly, of success, more people were against him than they were for him. Now let's look at the number of states that the BJP is in power. Of course, in all their campaigning, whether it's winning states through subterfuge, in the cover of darkness, or turning, politics into a marketplace, they're barely in power in 10 or 12 states out of 28. And they've won all, and they've gone to these states with the figure, the insignia of Modi in all of them. Did they do that in Karnataka? They win in Himachal? Is that a sign of his popularity? Is that the sign of brand Modi? What are the attributes of brand Modi? What does he stand for? What has he stood for in the last 9 years? I'll give you just quickly a couple of reasons what he stands for. In 9 years, what Mr. Modi, the Prime Minister, has done is put this country on trial. Right? There are loyalties, there are rewards, there are also punishments, and through that, he's manufactured his popularity. Of course, popularity can be a self-fulfilling prophecy, but there is a kind of a coercive charisma that he's manufactured.
How can popularity be a self-fulfilling prophecy? I mean,
no. So I'll tell you what he's doing. He's manufacturing a coercive charisma through a politics of rewards and what he's done and punishments. Right? So he's weaponized agencies in order to create an atmosphere atmosphere in politics. Where
Do you remember
popularity-
how Mulayam Singh and Amar Singh used to speak about the Congress at that time using the CBI against them on the trust vote and
Not
various
just
other
CBI,
issues?
I'm talking about 22-year-old environmental activists who become threat to the state. I'm talking about civil society. I'm talking about demonizing communities. I'm talking about binary dispositions. I'm talking about creating civilizational conflicts. A number of things has been done, and I'm also talking about the role of the media that has acted as a force multiplier to promote what we call his popularity and to cement his brand.
No,
so
but
his
listen,
brand is
when,
not a
when a Morning
meritocracy.
Consult, which is an international polling agency, which has nothing
Yeah,
to do
yeah.
with any Indian agency, finds Prime Minister Modi to be the top-rated, most popular politician in the world, that has nothing to do with anybody
No,
sitting
so
here.
I'm giving you the reasons, Rahul, why that has happened. There is a particular politics behind the brand that has made it. There are politics of stoop to conquer, the politics of turning everything into a marketplace, the politics of demonization, the politics of the press, which has become force multipliers. There is a reason why things have happened the way they have. And so the numbers come out, though, more attractive. But will you dispute the fact that in a democracy, it is quantifiable votes that ultimately determine your success?
Okay.
So far,